Hi everyone, it's Miss Joy again, and happy Sunday to you. Do you know what today is? Today is Mother's Day, and we want to wish all of the moms out there a happy Mother's Day. So I hope that by now you've already told your mom happy Mother's Day. Isn't she just the best person in the world? So as we get started, I want you to close your eyes and think about a person in your life, a woman in your life, who cooks for you, who cleans your room, who washes your clothes, who cooks your meals, who grocery shops, who puts up all the groceries when she comes home. How about reading to you? Are you thinking of someone? And you know, the most important thing this woman does is teach you about God and the Bible. Have you thought of who that woman is? Well, if you thought about your mom, then you are absolutely correct. So, did you know that the Bible teaches us about how we should treat our mom? It mentions it in a couple of places. It mentions it in the Ten Commandments, and then it also mentions it in Ephesians. And this doesn't just apply to our moms, but how about your grandmother or your aunt or your babysitter or someone like that? The Bible teaches us that we are to honor and obey our parents. And what do you think obey means? Well, obey means to do what that person tells you to do, especially your parents. And so today's Bible lesson, Bible verse, I'm gonna get straight to it. Our memory verse talks about children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. And the key word there is obey. Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. And that is found in Ephesians 6:1. So obey does mean to do what that person tells you to do. And I know that most of you obey all the time. It's very hard to obey, even for adults. I know right now with all the things going on in town, and we're all supposed to wear face masks, and some adults don't want to do that, and some adults might not be obeying the rules, right? Well, I'm also going to play a little game with you. I'm calling it the red-green game. And I'm going to ask you some questions, and we'll hold up red or green for the answer, okay? So here's our game. Here's our first question. Do what your mom says as soon as she asks you to do it. Is that right or wrong? It's absolutely right. Yes, of course, when your mom asks you to do something, you should do it right away. What about if you're in Safeway or Target or Walmart and you tell your mom you want a toy and she says, no, not today, and you throw a fit and you pout and you might even cry, you might stomp your feet? Is that obeying or not obeying? Is that right or wrong? Right or wrong? That's wrong. No, we should always listen to and obey what our parents say. You're much more likely to get what you want if you obey your parents. What about when your mom says, if you're outside and she says, come inside, it's time for supper, and you just totally ignore her, or you say, nope, not gonna do that. Oh, that's a big red, right? Really big red. What about after your meal if you say, Mom, thank you so much for cooking that meal. That was very nice of you and I enjoyed it. Red or green? That's a big green. Anytime we do something that we're thankful, especially for our moms, that is a great thing. How about if you tell your mom, Mom, I love you? That is always going to be a green. It doesn't matter if you're 3 years old or 30 or 60. When you tell your mom you love her, that is always something green, something good. Now, I got to thinking about some of the moms that were famous in the Bible. Can you think of any moms that were famous in the Bible? How about Mary? She was the mother of Jesus. She was perhaps the most important mom in the Bible. And then what about Sarah? Do you remember Sarah? She was very, very old when she had Isaac. And she had waited and waited to have a baby, but it took a long time, and she was certainly thankful when she did. And what about Elizabeth? Do you remember Elizabeth? She was Mary's cousin, and she was the mother of John the Baptist, who was really close to Jesus. John the Baptist, in fact, baptized Jesus. And then just one more. What about Hannah? Do you remember Hannah? Hannah was the mother of Samuel. And all of these women were featured in the Bible because they were very obedient to God and they were good mothers. I have often wondered, do you think Mary ever said to Jesus things that your mom would say? How about, Jesus, eat your vegetables. Jesus, come in from outside. Jesus, clean your room. Jesus, don't pick your nose. Do you think Mary ever said those things to Jesus? I bet she did. I do bet she did. And so the last place again that I want to talk to you about, the Ten Commandments, that's where we find another thing about obeying your parents. And if you are in my Sunday school class, then you surely know this song. It's by Slugs and Bugs, and it's the Ten Commandments. And that's how I want to end our lesson today, because it's about Frankenstein and Count Dracula, and they're teaching us the Ten Commandments. So let me see if I can get this video to work. For kids in my class, you can sing along. Here we go.
Oh look, the monsters are here. Come on in, guys. Kids, you remember Frankenstein, Count Dracula? Come on, kids. Y'all are just in time. 10 Commandments.
Here we go, sing along. Here we go.
10 Commandments.
10 Commandments. 1, have no other gods before me. 2, don't bow down. 3, don't misuse God's names. 4, don't forget the Sabbath. Make it a habit. 5, honor your parents, Clarence. 6, do not kill, not will. 7, don't commit adultery.
8, take it, Frankie.
My favorite part.
Do not steal. Do not lie. Do not covet.
I'm not sure. The 10.
So you guys that are in my class know that song, and you all know all the hand motions to it. It's a really fun song. But the one thing I want you to remember this week is that 5th commandment, honor your parents, Clarence, is what the 10 Commandments song says. I really want you to honor your mom today, and I want you to tell her how much you love her. And moms out there, we love you so much. Thank you for teaching your kids about God. We love you and we appreciate you and we miss seeing you. So have a great day, moms. Happy Mother's Day.